Well, while all this was raging in the House of Reps, in the Senate, the crossbench was delivering a major blow to the government's legislative hopes, voting down the Ensuring Integrity Bill. Most of the attention was on One Nation's decision to block that bill. But Tasmanian Senator Jacqui Lambie also voted no, and she joins us now from Parliament House in Canberra. Senator Lambie, welcome to Insiders.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Senator, you said unless John Setka stepped down, you'd support the government's bill. John Setka is still there. In fact, on Friday, he tweeted thanks to all senators who opposed the bill, and obviously that includes you. How does that sit with you?
The trouble is with that bill, that was never going to get rid of John Setka. That's the problem. And my amendments, we believe, would have done that. However, nobody wanted to discuss anything with us across the table. We had the amendments. We spent many hours between the drafter's office and my office and my people, and nobody still wanted to open discussion.
Yeah, but why should they have looked at your amendments? You told all of us a number of times you would vote for that bill if John Setka remained in place. They took you at your word. Was that a mistake to believe you'd do what you said you would?
The problem here is, Fran, that the bill that they were putting through would not have got rid of John Setka. That was the problem. So our amendments simply made sure that the other unions that CFMEU had thrown under the bus were not hit with the same consequences that the CFMEU should be hit with, and it's in the top of its echelon there. And that bill is not doing that. They're putting everybody under the same umbrella, and that is not fair.
This bill will be brought back next week. The government said that. Has the government contacted you, Christian Porter, or anybody else to start those talks?
No, not at this stage. I haven't been contacted, although I am open to talks. You know, if it's going to make sure that the CFMEU is cleaned up, and they're still not getting the message, even though from their top echelon they're saying we are, you know, we've really felt it this time and blah, 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 blah. I guess time will tell. They have some cleaning up to do in their own backyard. And they have some honour that's got to be delivered, and I'd like to see that done as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we will be talking about this bill in the new year, and I would imagine that a bit of toing and froing across the table to fix this bill, to make sure it hits and targets the people that should be targeted, will actually get done.
Are you sending a message?
So if I was the CFMEU to show some goodwill and show some honour, and clean up their own backyard and do what they said that they were going to do very quickly.
Are you sending a message here to the government that, OK, Pauline Hanson, the government's made it clear they think she's unreliable, that they should work with you, you're the only one the government can trust?
Oh, look, I was happy to work with you on the amendments, but, you know, in not having a go at the Attorney-General, I do, you know, there is no doubt he believed he had this locked in, you know, so that put us on the sidelines. That is now changed, and I am certainly open for discussion on the bill.
Your chance to be the dealmaker comes this week on Medevac. You've said Medevac is not a threat to Operation Sovereign Borders. So if it's not a threat to Operation Sovereign Borders, why would you vote to repeal it?
Fran, when it comes to that, I have given the government a choice. It can either pick A or B, and that is where we're at. So out of all due respect to both the Prime Minister and Peter Dutton, and to make sure that those talks continue over the week, you know, I don't want to be saying too much about this.
I understand that,
to do with national security.
But if you're citing national security concerns, if you've said that the Medevac bill is not a threat to Operation Sovereign Borders, why is it a national security issue? Because, Fran, when it... sorry, can you just repeat the question? I'm just having a bit of trouble. That's OK. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Go again.
But you're talking about the national security concerns more broadly, but if you've said Medevac bill, the Medevac is not a threat to Operation Sovereign Borders, then why would you vote to repeal it? On what national security grounds?
Because what I'm trying to discuss with the government has national security implications to it. That may not have to do with the Medevac repeal itself, but there are other implications and the other request, the option that they could take, and that does have national security implications attached to it. OK, is that option that the government should allow the resettlement of 150 people, 150 of these refugees to New Zealand, and would you vote for legislation to ensure those people can never come to Australia? Is that the negotiation? Oh, look, Fran, I can't go into what the negotiations are, and I know that people out there, I've always been very honest with the people out there and very upfront. It is what I am discussing with the PM and Minister Dutton is all in good faith, and I do not want to say or do anything this morning that may jeopardise those talks, because otherwise nobody is going to win out of this.
You've been lobbied furiously for this. You've had a long line of doctors and others to your door urging you to endorse the Medevac, to not accept this repeal bill. What do you think is likely? Do you think the government can accept your condition and not jeopardise the intent and the impact of Medevac?
Yes, I believe that can be done. We've been on this now for 4.5 months. We have put a lot of hours in this from myself and my office, and we are doing everything that we possibly can to make sure this is a great outcome. Like I said, those discussions are still ongoing, and I do not want to say or do anything this morning that may risk having a great result out of this.
Jacqui Lambie, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on.